What's up, my loves and fellow creatives? I hope you all can hear me. And if so, let me know. Is this the template that you're going to use and for what purpose? In the chat, in the comments, y'all let me know. I'm going to go ahead and demo it, but give me an idea of how you can see yourself using this. I have flipped this in so many different ways. I'll show you in just a moment, just so you can get some ideas. But we have a Mom 2K, Dad 2K, featuring the one and only my daddy, Melvin Wooden, on there. And we have a Grad 2K. Think about for sports, even though sports for the school year may be up, you still have this summer where you have all kind of summer leagues going on. I guarantee you that you can make some moves over the summertime and really gain some momentum and be ready for the school year. So definitely think about sports. And then kids' birthdays. I know this would be a fire concept, whether you use the 2K theme or not. This will make a really dope imagery, whether you use it as a card, for a t-shirt, as a graphic for, and I'm going to show you some examples too. Using the Automizer here, I'm going to show you some examples that I did for just for fathers in general. Okay, so these are some products that will be great for Father's Day, and we need to go ahead and start promoting these now. But you have posters. You can do this as a poster print, license plate, coasters. You know, dads are all about their vehicles, their cars or their trucks. So you can do coasters, you can do the air fresheners, keychains, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, that sort of thing. And of course, your drinkware, the tumblers and the mugs. And who can forget about ties? You might as well make a cool tie, even if it's a gag gift. I guarantee you it will be something way more phenomenal than their typical little ties that they get with maybe like a little image on there. I think this will be a really cool gift that even if someone doesn't wear it, well, I think they will wear it somewhere, even if it's just for fun. But this would be a really cool gift that they would cherish and keep forever because it makes the dad look like the superhero. And you know, what dad doesn't want to feel like a superhero? Of course, you have your gift box and a couple of other items there. So this is just giving you some ideas of what products you can use this type of imagery on if you're doing Father's Day. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. Yeah, graduation. I could totally see this being a graduation one. So I'm going to give you all some more ideas for graduation. Just a teaser. I have added some more products to the Automizer. So I will be dropping that by tomorrow. And then we'll do an official announcement on Friday. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and get into this quick 5-minute template flip. Now, you don't have to come with images already. However, if you attended the last AI class, you probably already have this image. If you look real close, she should look familiar. She was an image that we created in AI 28. If you have not done the AI class yet where we make the superheroes, please join us next Monday. We're going to do the dads as the superheroes. And then we're also going to be working on, well, what are their superpowers? What are their settings and environments? And also doing face swapping. So for this one, of course, I was able to use AI to face swap my dad's image in there. And I'll even do a project with you all next Monday where I'll show you how you can do multiple faces. It is difficult, but you can do multiple faces. And then I even had to change the skin tones and really do some fine details. So we'll get into that next Monday. So do not miss AI class Monday. We're getting into the characters. We're going to be face swapping, and it's going to be a whole shebang. All right. And then that way you'll be able to come back and use this template. So I am going to give you some graphics today. Right now, what I'm going to do is just show you the elements that are in it by switching it back to the dad template here, because I want y'all to be ready for Mother's Day. For Father's Day. Let's see here. So I have photo 1 enabled right now, and then I have a color that's on here right now. Let me go ahead and go to it. So you'll see that you can change your hue saturation and put different blend modes and things in here as well. So I wanted to be able to change up the color of the costume in different ways. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and delete the layer mask here. And I'm just going to keep this one blue. And then where it turns pink, I'm going to add a layer mask. And I'm gonna say, okay, well, which areas do I want to be pink and which areas do I want to be blue? So it's already blue. This is why I tell you I make my AI artwork in blue, because I can go in with my paintbrush and then on this hue saturation layer, I'm going to take off everywhere that I want to see the blue come through. So you see the blue coming through? I kind of want half the heart to be pink, half to be blue, maybe a little blue here. And this is just me playing around with it because I really wanted to give it that that summer vibes, the that Miami colorway kind of deal. The street lights, the neons, all of those things are playing together in this design. So I'm going to use those two colors as my primary and secondary color. All right. And speaking of color, we're going to go ahead and tap on where it says first name, last name. And there is some color behind here, but essentially, let's just go up to the top. I have some cheat sheet areas for you where you can change out your main photo, the main image here, which is a controller, because this is a game theme. And for some of y'all that love the older controller, I realized I didn't know there was a difference between the old controller and the new controller. But I learned something from my brother today. So I put a newer controller in there so you all wouldn't get picked on like I was getting picked on. And then you also have a couple of other options for controllers there. So you can switch out which one you want there. I'm going to keep this main one in here. And the main idea here is to go ahead and change out the colors. Now I'm going to pick colors of a theme that I want to do. But if you have a logo, let's say you're doing a school, if you have a logo for that school or for that team, then you can drop that logo in here. And from that logo, you can pick your colors. However, I don't have any specific colors. I'm going to use my colors, which are cyan and magenta. So I'm going to go ahead and go to color number 1. I'm going to make that the cyan that I like here. Then color number 2 is already the magenta. So that's how easy it is to change out your colors there. And for the text, the only text that's really to change here, you have at the top where it says mom. I've already included some ideas there for you. So you have grad there, you have Panthers there. So I wanted to show you how it looks with something long, like the mascot name. And then I have dad. And then I also have some custom little NBA-ish logos here. So this one is mom. And you'll see there's some silhouettes in here. There's dad 1 and dad 2. I'm going to go with dad 1 for mine. And then you also have the grad. But keep in mind, there are different ways that this block color goes based on which logo you're using. So if you're going to use grad, then you're going to color here. Now, I want to show you how you will bring in your own image. If you won't be doing this today because you kind of have to already have in mind what type of logo you want to create. But here in this group, you're going to drop your silhouette. I'll just put silhouette here. You're going to drop the silhouette in this folder. All right. And once you drag and drop it here, and let me turn this off. I'm just going to quick export that as PNG, get it out of here, and then I'm going to show you how to do it. So I'm going to call this the mother silhouette. All right, so I'm going to delete it out of here, pretend like it never existed. Now what you're going to do is you're going to select the very top level, and I'm going to give you that so you can practice doing this. You're going to do place embedded, and you're going to go to your folder, your 270 folder. And you're going to place that silhouette. Now, this one isn't all the way one color, but it's okay because as soon as you place it in there, you may have to resize it. Now, this one, I did stretch it out so that you want to make sure it goes all the way to top to bottom. Now, you're not going, every logo that comes in is going to be different as far as where the split of the color should go. So let me show you this trick. Okay, I figured this would be a good thing to teach. I'm going to duplicate one of them. Let's say I duplicate grad. It doesn't matter. We're going to duplicate that layer. We're going to bring it to the top. Now I'm going to rename this one Mom. Excuse me, y'all. Rename it Mom here. And I'm also going to rename the color number 2 here, Mom. I'm going to delete this layer mask. And then I'm going to make a brand new fresh layer mask. Oh, actually, you know what? Nope. I'm just going to delete the layer mask. And I'm going to show you how to make the fresh one, because this is going to be really simple. Now, if you've never used this polygon lasso tool, you're going to use it today. And it's really, really simple to use. It's another tool on your tool belt. I want you to zoom in just a little bit. Make sure that your logo, if you notice, the NBA logo touches the top and the bottom. That way it makes it very easy to delineate where the split color should be. If your logo does not touch the top and the bottom, yes, I know this looks a little stretched out, but that's just how it has to be. Okay, so I'm going to start up here at the top off of the area. And I'm going to start where I know she's already touching the top here. I'm just going to loosely go down to where I know she's touching the bottom here and come outside of the shape area. You see that? I just made a selection. Now all I have to do is click on the layer mask option, and it maps out just that area for the pink or the red. In this case, if I don't put anything there, it's going to be the traditional blue and red. Okay, so if you just turn the special colors off, you have the traditional blue and red. But for this one, like I said, I'm going to make it cyan and magenta. So magenta is fine there for my cyan instead of purple. I'm going to grab this color right here. And then that's it. All I have to do is save it. And I'm just making sure I'm saving it here. So y'all have Mom. Actually, you know what? I'll give you Mom, and then you'll do this step together so that, that you learn how to do it. Okay, so there it is. There's Mom. Yes, to save those changes. And I want y'all to think about like what you could be making these logos for. If it's birthday, or you're doing like Goku theme, like maybe make one with the little hair sticking out, maybe make a silhouette of that. That could be really cool. All right, so this one is going to be Dad 2K24. For the background here, there are some options that you'll be bringing in. So I'm going to give you a few. Let me get on my move tool here. And just in case you need to change this, maybe it doesn't say Dad, maybe you want to say Daddy. And in that case, you could duplicate the layer. Type in DADDY. It's a little long, so you're going to use your move tool. Hold down Shift so you can squish it in a little bit here. And squish it in here. Then that way it fits. And then, of course, now the Daddy logo needs to appear. So I'm going to go to the image 3 here. Double click again. I'm going to change it to my Dad image. So there's Dad. I'm going to change it to Dad 1. See how the pink or the left and the right color, whatever colors you choose, don't match up. You have to make sure that you make a custom color split for each silhouette that you throw in there. All right, so my colors are good. I just wanted to make sure that it had the proper logo there. All right, so there's Daddy 2K. You can also go in here and change the first and that last name. What I would suggest, keep the word first name there, duplicate it, turn off the eyeball for the one that you're not going to use, double click on the T. Okay, and then you type your first name there. Go ahead and get that out your way. Right click on the word last name, find the word last name, not last name PNG, but actual last name. That's the text. Double click. You'll type in the name there. You may have to stretch it or squish it in. I'm going to leave it like it is because I don't want to squish or stretch my letters if I do not have to. And then I'm going to turn off this layer mask down here. If your image is too short and it doesn't come all the way down to the bottom and you feel like that shadow kind of hangs out, then you can enable this and it'll cut it off right here by the name. But this has imagery here. So I want it to hang all the way to the bottom so it looks like he's kind of walking out the card. All right, so boom, boom. You have the content ratings here. Now, we are not going to edit this in class, but I think you should think about making one for grad and making one for mom, because right now I felt like this design would be more popular for men. So that's why I put dad and goat in there, because goat could be greatest of all time for anyone. But maybe you want to make one for grad, maybe you want to make one for mom or papa or whatever, and then you would come up with what the acronym spells out. But just so you know, you can go to the rated, and I have one here that says custom. Okay, so you turn that one on. Then you can literally click on the G here, double click on it. Let's say we're going to do grad, because I think grad would be a good one to do this for. I'm going to go to the O, and of course change it to an R. Keep the A, then change the T to a D. And then, of course, you would have to change the acronym here. So I would probably use ChatGPT, or see if there's some really popular acronyms right now for grad. But at least I got you started there. And all you'd have to do is click on the word of, double click on that T, change out the text just the same. Leave the content rated at the top, because this is a thing for video games. I recognize that I don't play video games, but I do recognize like the trends, and my goal is to keep you on top of those things so that you have some top rated content. All right. All right. So for this one, I'm going to put the .png at the end so that it will create that for you. So this is a master template for you all. All right, so that is everything. It's not everything. I have a background image. There are two background images here. So there's one, like let's say we want the little city to pop up here in the background. And then I have another background. Let me go over here. There we go. Okay, so you have a background in this area where it has, I gave you some images there. That's for the Dragon Ball Z. I gave you like a neon. These are all AI generated. I did not buy these stock images. I created all of these images, and it tells you what class. If you see AI 30, AI 31, AI 31, it tells you which AI class the artwork came from. So if you're ever interested in buying that class so that you have ample artwork to do your stuff, or you want to buy that class so that you can learn how to make that artwork, you do not have to make the AI. There's thousands of images in every single class already ready to go. All right, so I think for this one, I wanted to go with this theme here. And just to give you some ideas of the ones I already have in here. You also have this basketball one. And it's just like a basketball texture, but you can turn on the color here for the template, and you don't have to worry about, hey, my lights in the background image are red, but my theme is cyan and magenta. Well, if you put on this color layer, it will automatically make that image behind it be whatever your color theme is, okay? So I just want you all to keep that in mind. You can even mix the colors up by turning on this layer mask here and kind of like mixing it up here. So I can keep this layer mask on, grab my brush here, and I can paint black where I want my cyan to come through, and then I can paint white where I want my magenta to come through. And this is just like a quick way of kind of recoloring the background with several colors. Real quick and fun way to recolor something. Of course, for this one, I'm going to turn the coloring layers off, and I'm going to turn on my background here. And I'm going to turn that magenta on so you can see what I'm talking about. Now what it's done is it's put that magenta recoloring where it was all blue. So now I kind of get a two-tone effect here. I did the same thing with the drop shadow. So you'll have that as well, the drop shadow there. So if you go to the photo shadow and you go to color 1 and color 2, you'll see that you can turn it off altogether and it just has a black shadow. I can turn it on, it has a little pink shadow there. And then if I turn both of them on, I have hidden the cyan in some areas so that the magenta shows through. So maybe I want to hide that there. And maybe I want a little more magenta to pop out here. So if I want more magenta to pop out, I'm going to do black. You can see how that works. And you can have a lot of fun with this, but this is just really just fun, quick edits. I don't want you all to spend too much time on this. It is literally a 5-minute template flip. Okay. 5 minutes is all it's going to take to change out the image, change out the title here. So it's either going to be dad, grad, mom, Gma, granny, whatever you want to turn into a concept art here. And then you'll change out your text, your colors. We won't be doing this in class today. I gave you this as a bonus because this was really supposed to be a whole nother template, the whole the rating template, but I gave you all that for free inside of here because I felt like it would definitely get you all some attention for your artwork. And then just letting you know too, the image color, you can change the color of the controllers with hue saturation. Okay, so this one I've changed it a little bit to include some of that blue in there. You can change it with hue saturation. So let's say if you're doing a green theme, you can change this controller to glow green or to glow yellow perhaps. If you just double click, tell it to go to the cyans. And let me disable the layer mask here or delete it, that's fine. I'm gonna go just to cyans, crank it up a little bit. I'm gonna change see how my cyan color is changing there. So let's say I wanted to go with like a green theme. I would change my cyans. I would change my blues. And see how that's going too? And then I would also change my magentas. So I'm kind of going for like a slime green kind of setup. There we go. So that's how you can change it with hue saturation. If I'm doing a single color change, then I'll do this for you all so y'all don't have to do this part. I'm going to grab these smart colors here so that it will change your controller via the smart color. There we go. And that way, if you want to do a little easy color change, I'm going to change this blend mode instead of color. I'm going to change it to hue. The reason why is because where it's black, I want it to stay black. And whereas gray tone, I wanted to keep those tones. So I wanted to glow the color only where color is present. So again, if I wanted to kind of look two-tone, boom. I'm just going to kind of come in and brush a little bit of the cyan away so the magenta pops up there. And regardless of what my colors are, now this is going to recolor based on that. And I don't even have to change it by hue saturation. So let me make it simple for y'all and just color it this way. It'll be so much simpler. All right, so I think that's it. I'm trying to make it complicated, but it's not. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you the old-fashioned way that we used to go in here and quick export as PNG. Boom, you do that. And of course, you would save it here. So I'm going to save this one as 270 dash. Technically, it's the same one here, but it just says goat instead of dad. So I'll save it separately. Okay. Real quick, I'm going to change this out to a grad that we already changed the face to. So this is what we're doing in our upcoming class on. Notice this grad right here. This is basically, he's supposed to look like a video game player, right? But we want the video game player to look like the actual grad. So tell me if this young guy looks familiar. Boom. Switch the face up and let me turn off. Let me go to view and turn off my grids. I've been keeping my grids on to design. So I'm going to turn them off for you all. Show the grid. I'm going to turn my grid off. So this is our blue grad. We made him look like a video game player. And I think this will be a cool concept for your grad parties, just summer parties in general. But we're doing that in our upcoming class. We're doing a face swap. And we're also going to be doing the players and the figurines. So if you're not in the Monday AI classes, I promise you want to be there. Okay, we're doing a lot of cool stuff, a lot of fun stuff. Now, what I'm going to do is go ahead and cut him out. I'm going to go to the object selection tool, select subjects, go to the cloud, tell it to select subject. So this is the one that I'm going to be giving you all to do here. Once you select the subject, you're going to cut out the background there. Very simple. And as a matter of fact, why did I open that up? I didn't need to do that. I just want to place him here. I don't want to go into this one. I just wanted y'all to see the difference between him. So all you're going to do is you're going to file, place embedded in this area. On your photo one, you're going to file, place embedded. And so I'm giving you that artwork so that you can pull it in. So I'm going to give it to you without having the background removed, and you're going to do these very steps. All right, so there's your sample image. You're going to file, place it. Very simple steps. You're going to go to your object selection tool, drop down, go to the cloud. All right, hopefully you don't need to add anything to it, but if you do, if you hover over things like, let's say it didn't get the ball, if you hover over the ball, it can add to the selection. If I wanted to subtract the ball from the selection, then I would make sure that I choose subtract from selection. And then when I click the ball, it will take the ball out of the selection. You see how that just happened? I'm going to go back because I want the ball in there. Either way, once it's selected here, we're just going to hit the mask button. It's going to mask off our grad. Now I want you to pay attention to where the previous image started so that you can get it about that same placement. Turn off the previous image here and definitely fade off the bottom of your image. I don't care if we have words down there. I just don't want it to be a chance that we'll see it. So we're going to come down here, make sure that black is added to the foreground here. Hit your default and then your switcheroo to get black to the front. And we're going to work with a brush size of about 400 pixels. And we're just going to come down here, fade that off, just like that. Okay. So now that he's all faded off and he's the only one visible, I'm going to close out, hit yes to save. And like I said, I'll give you this free AI artwork. You tell your customers, hey, this is your face. I'm telling you, you will get customers that are like, no way, you can make that my face? Yes. And I will show you on Monday how to take my exact picture that I gave you in class today. On Monday, I will show you how to swap it out for another person's face, whether they're a graduate or not. You'll at least get that practice. And we'll also be creating images. We'll be creating our superhero images that you will be swapping the faces out on. So I want you to be aware that every Monday, I'm teaching skills in AI so that we can flip those into quick templates for Wednesday. All right, so let me go ahead and quickly change this out. Instead of daddy, we're going to change this to grad. Boom, there it is. I'm going to let him stay the blue grad because the blue grad is very special to us because he has a lot of coordinating things on our website. All right, so now we're going to change out the main colors here. So I'm going to make sure that he doesn't have any kind of recoloring on him right now. I'm going to turn that off. So he's just going to be blue grad. And then now my pink or my magenta and my cyan doesn't make sense here. I need to grab a color from his uniform, or if I had his logo, I would have his logo, but that's the color from the uniform there. So I'm going to double click on color number 1. Turn off any of the other eyeballs. And then I'll click on the top one here. Let's duplicate it. Turn that eyeball on, double click. Actually, I don't even have to double click, y'all. Why? Because when I go over here to my swatches, I'm already there. Yes to save. Now my blue is outlined there. Color number 2, I'm just gonna let it be red. That's just like the Y2K kind of red there. All right. And then I'm going to check to see, like, do I have red and blue where I want them? Do I need to balance this out? I think this looks really cool. But since he's playing basketball, what if we change that basketball layer back there? So I'm going to grab my move tool, click back here. I'm going to go to the neon background. And I'm going to turn on the basketball background here. Okay. And it's got its own little neon glow to it. I'm going to turn off the recoloring of the background here. So you see it has its own neon glow, but it glows pink. This is where it's going to be helpful to change the hue. So if you look here, I have a hue that already changes the magentas. So instead of master, I'm going to go to magentas, and you'll see I've already changed the magenta color to look red. But whatever your colors are, you want to change that magenta color to look like whatever color, or the change of cyans to look like whatever color, and then it glows neon, whatever color you need it to glow. All right, so this looks good here. And then for the name, we'll go back to first name, last name, just so that you all can set that however you would like. And that's it. That's all, folks. So you're going to flip this for graduation. I guarantee you, when you do this flip tonight, if you have your own graduates to throw in here, great. When you flip this tonight and you post it tonight, this is what I want you to do. Post it, hashtag, this is template number 270. So hashtag 270, post it in the Innate Academy group tonight. If you also simultaneously post it on your page tonight, remember when I told y'all about making money when you sleep? Go to sleep. And then when you wake up, I guarantee you somebody's either going to comment, like it, be in your inbox, or ready to do this. All you have to do is put a little arrow on there and say your face here. Listen to me now. Listen to me. And then come to class on Monday. When you say, oh my gosh, I don't know how to put a face on there. Great. Come to class with me on Monday. It's a $40 class where you're going to have access to over 5,000 images in that one class that all have to do with grad, all have to do with making superheroes, all have to do with Father's Day images. We're going to be flipping out those faces. You're going to take this face right here and change it to whatever face your customer has. So if you come to class with a customer face already ready to go, you're going to get it done on Monday. I'm just saying. All right, so let me go ahead, save this, get this uploaded, fonts and all. You all will know what to do with that. And for this one right here, maybe you leave the city back here. I didn't think about leaving the city there. So I will leave the city. I'll leave the city there, because there's also an option to turn on these little lights here. All of this is AI generated, y'all. All of this is AI generated. Okay. All right. So listen, I love you. I appreciate you dearly. Until next time. Bye. Love y'all for real.